Yeah, guys. I don't know. I don't know whether to call this a rant, a rage, or a dirge. I don't know. Because I'm seeing shades of the past. I'm seeing a Chinese government, President Xi, letting a Russian president invade another country for no other reason than ideology. There is no financial gain here. There is no. It's not going to give him a buffer. Actually, it's going to make things worse. Because it's literally going to put NATO nations, more NATO nations, on his border. We all knew his demands, that President Putin's demands were stupid. You don't turn back time. You can't. Though he's trying to. But what I'm seeing is shades of 1939. When Joseph Stalin made a non-aggression pact with Adolf Hitler in Germany. So Poland ended up being standing alone against two armies. There's no way that the Allies, the French and the British, and whoever else, I think it was just the French and the British, could get there to help them. Now, to be fair, Stalin was gambling. I mean, this guy's a bloodthirsty piece of, I mean, remember, Stalin died in his own shit. At the peak of his power, when he was literally that powerful that he has a stroke and he's laying on the floor, by all reports, soiling himself, nobody would go near him because they were terrified of him. The peak of his power. All his gambles had paid off, cost millions of lives. Now, he had help killing all these people because he didn't kill people individually. I think the quote to him is, "One man's death is a tragedy, a million is a statistic." Well, now today, and he let Adolf Hitler start his war. Now, Adolf Hitler figured that the British and the French would just roll over, which they didn't, because he was gambling too. Now, he lost. And the cost of his loss, well, it was those millions of people. And he shot himself. He blew his brains out. I don't know, whatever. No idea. I don't care. Some people make stories, don't really care. He lost. Stalin, on the other hand, despite the cost of his gamble, won. Yet he died in his own shit. So today we're looking at a situation where it's not quite the same. There's no non-aggression treaty, but there is trade agreements and some really seriously good deals going into China. Raw materials, most likely oil, at a really cheap rate, which, by the way, has gone through the roof. All cash. I heard a statement the other day. Some analyst said, well, it's Ukraine today, Taiwan tomorrow. Yeah. Well, President Xi he's fucking gambling. He's gambling that this is going to work out for him. But he doesn't care about the blood. Doesn't give a rat's butt. Neither does Putin. To be fortunate, and this is horrible to say, the loss of life at this point by major military engagements can be considered small. I mean, realistically, I have no idea where this is going to go. How many will lose their lives? How many lives are shattered? Millions. Ukrainian, there's 44 million people in Ukraine. Well, 44 million lives shattered, changed forever. How many of them will be further shattered and equally destroyed by losing family members? I don't know. My hope is as low as possible. What I think is going to happen? I don't want to know. Ukraine is not Russian. It's Ukrainian. And the reason why it's Ukrainian is because the amount of life that has been lost, that has, for lack of a horrible word, fertilized that soil, is huge. Whether it's the Holodomor or previous famines that fell afterwards, the tragedy, the horrible tragedy of the Second World War that Stalin could have saved. Remember, at this point, the Ukrainians were part of the Soviet Union, therefore his people. If we want, we can even go back. Previous to that, 1914. A lot of fighting took place on that soil. And a lot of Ukrainians died. Then we can think about the tragedy of Chernobyl. Loss of life wasn't huge, but a lot of lives were shattered. And Chernobyl, quite literally, broke the financial back of the Soviet Union. It was the last straw. It was horrible. I mean, this massive, huge thing, but they were on the brink, and that pushed them over. Yet, Vladimir Putin wants back something that broke the back of his beloved Soviet Union. The country he was born, raised, and educated, and the country whom he served. The country he serves today is not the Soviet Union. The country that he rules or leads today is the Russian Federation. And he thinks that Ukraine belongs in Russia. He didn't pay for it. He's spilling blood now. But he's spilling more Ukrainian blood, which means the Ukrainians are paying even more for it. So I don't know. Is this a rant, a rage, or a dirge? I just know that there's evil men out there. And I hope that they die in their own shit sooner than later.